Reclaiming Timeless Ways, Mike Traster, Simon Fuller, glad to have you along for another episode. And Mike, our topic today is?
Perfectionism.
Ooh.
I hope I said that perfectly.
You did. It was perfect.
Good. Oh, wow.
You've nailed perfection.
Well, then I'm done.
Ism.
So one of the perfectionism, it's like there's two ways to approach perfectionism.
Yep.
One is I'm moving in that direction, right? Let's say I want to, as an artist, which I'm not, I want to be able to draw a perfectly straight line 15 inches long.
Okay.
It's going to take a lot of practice,
Yep.
right? And so I'm always in the process of not doing less of this and more of that, right?
Okay.
It's a process, right? So that's positive, as long as I'm giving myself patience and credit and some discipline, right?
Right.
Discipline in the sense of continuity. The other kind of perfectionism is when you are imitating an old critic, somebody who criticized you, who told you you're not okay. Now, sometimes people criticize because they want to be one up on you. Sometimes they criticize because as long as they're criticizing you, they have your attention.
Sure.
So they're not lonely. They've maneuvered you into sticking around. You're defending yourself. That means they're not alone. Ooh. So, but one of the things that people do is they take on the critic's role. So if the critic is there and I criticize myself, let's say they're pretty mean. Well, if they watch me criticizing myself, they don't have to. So by taking on their role, I'm sort of fending them off,
Yeah.
right? I'm their substitute. The problem, of course, is number one, it legitimizes what they've done, and it traps me, right? So not a good thing. Ultimately, if we're too self-critical, it's a form of self-rejection. So it's like, it's not saying, we talked about Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle, how many
Right.
times they struck out,
Bingo.
right? So like, I think they both had a lifetime batting average in the 300 range. The Mantle was like a 298. I don't remember what Ruth was, it was higher. But that meant that 7 out of 10 times they didn't get a hit, which was still good. So, but somebody would say 7 out of 10 you didn't? That sucks,
Right.
right? No, they were two of the greatest players that ever lived, but that's just part of the reality. Now, were they working to improve? Yeah. Did they accept themselves? I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grace is a big word when it comes to perfectionism.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's okay to aspire to improve whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
It's not and along the way to give yourself grace as you're improving and climbing that ladder or those steps or whatever figurative picture you want to put in your brain. It's not okay to beat yourself up over a lack of hitting a certain marker.
Right.
That's counterproductive,
Right.
destructive, and oftentimes will rear its head in either a harmful way to yourself or others.
Yeah. Yeah, grace, that's a great word. Absolutely. It's probably the most important thing on this whole page. I'm always right. Perfectionist says I'm always right. Well, they're not.
Right.
And you can't be, unless you have a very limited, like what's the letter A? Oh, it's A. Well, if that's your limit, you're always going to be right,
Sure.
right? But that's not much. I am the best, right? Well, you're going to be the best possibly for a brief period of time until you hit your apex and plateau and then go, and then somebody else is going to be there instead. Or I have no right to be happy, which gets back to imitating the critic, right? Things we can be perfectionists about include weight, strength, speed, looks, attire, or the house, money, a hot babe, a title, It's like a professional title, or your house, the vacations that you take, things like that. Most things that are most powerful, most handsome, most beautiful, most intelligent, most successful.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, will make yourself and everybody else just a little bit, or more than a little bit, crazy. And then the thing I said earlier, I criticize myself to head off your criticism. Oh, I don't have to crap on you. You're doing it for me. Great. I'm going to have a Coke. That's that one.
No, but it's kind of fun, Mike. You know, we look at this perfectionism, and we've done, you know, a lot of these topics here we've done over the past few weeks, and I think in the next few are, I don't want to say repeats, but they're, we're recycling and repolishing, retalking,
Right.
and we're doing it in sort of a short form.
Right.
And we hope you enjoyed. It's kind of, it's purposeful.
Hope so.
It's you know, doses. You know, and we love our 30, 40-minute programs, but sometimes we hope that if you have time for 10 or 15 minutes to watch the show or that show, or share it with somebody you think it could benefit, you know, a little dose, and we
Right.
hope you watch them all over time.
Right.
But
You know, maybe we could talk about things at length, like emotive therapy or something like that, where somebody just gets into this state of raw emotions. But even that can be over-explained.
Right.
You know, where a synopsis might be sufficient, and you can justify talking about something for 4 hours, but you might be able to say everything about it in 20 minutes or less.
right,
All the basics,
right.
you know.
All right. Well, we thank you again, Mike. We thank you for joining us for another edition of Reclaiming Timeless Ways. Have a great day.
Take care.